Hello. Hi again. Man, it has really been a hot minute, hasn't it? Um, sorry about that. Um, I've been having like a lot of problems, but also a lot of good things, or the opposite of problems happening. Um, I'm trying to explain the lack of streams and the lack of YouTube videos recently. Um, so, first thing, my recording software decided to freak the heck out, and it deleted a few hours worth of footage that I had. Um, I made Judgment's gauntlets from Helltaker, and I was about to edit together the video when all of a sudden my recording software was like, actually, all of these video files are text files now, and there's no converter that recognizes them as video files. I'm like, okay. So I lost all the footage for that. There was no YouTube video for Judgment's Gauntlets, but they are still available on my Etsy if you're interested in purchasing them at all. Um, you can go check them out there. Second thing that's gone wrong, I've had 3 power outages recently. They've halted a few of my prints in place. I haven't really been able to do anything while my printers are printing out projects that should have been done like days and days ago. So that's fun. But I think the power outages have passed. Both of my printers are currently running right now. I don't know if you can hear them as static. But they're both running. They're both doing great. Is there anything else that's gone wrong? Oh, yeah. I mean, I suppose last stream was kind of a disaster. Audio went all over the place. So hopefully it goes better this time. I don't know how to fix that. So yeah, hi. Long time no see. Have we got a project? So, check this out. It's Virtuous Treaty from Near Automata. Now I know what you might be thinking. Man, this is so small. It is. That's the point. So this is actually my first commission. Shout out to Stacy. Thank you for my very first commission. But this is Virtuous Treaty here. And it is only 4 feet long instead of being the scale like 6.5, 7 feet long that it is in the game. And the reason being is because this thing needs to fit in a suitcase. It needs to fit in a travel size suitcase. Now you might be wondering, how is this going to fit in any suitcase if it's 4 feet long? Well, that's what these little bolts are for. And I put this sword together just so that you can see how it works. You just unscrew these with your fingers. If you wanted to get it tighter, you could use a wrench or something. Just take these little bolts off, and then you very gently slide it off. So now it's 2 pieces that might be able to both fit on camera. Maybe not. We'll see. No, definitely not. So yeah, it's 2 pieces that can be laid diagonally in a large suitcase, and they fit. Woo! So yeah, it's small, but it's very lightweight, very portable, and we're going to be painting it today. Oh yeah, sorry if you're actually watching this, that's another thing. I don't have chat enabled right now. just because my computer's a potato. And I'm going to see what happens if I just don't have chat. And if nothing changes, I'll put chat back up for the next stream, which should be pretty soon. Okay. I'm just pulling up my picture of Virtuous Treaty here that I'm going to use for reference. And I got 4 colors ready here. The first color that I'm probably going to do is the black. And black is a pretty complex color in this case. I mean, this entire project is highly detailed. But that's great. So, first things first. This little outcropping here, it has black on it. It's mostly black. I'm probably going to paint it all black and then just put a layer of white over it once it's dry. You probably won't even see that on stream. So I'm just going to grab a small brush, but not too small. I think I'll choose this boy. Woot, woot, woot. Gonna grab my token container of black paint. It'll run out someday. Alright, and here we go. This is just the first detail, really. Just painting this whole thing black. Really easy. This whole blade is going to be a sterling silver color. This project uses all of the same colors as my Virtuous Contract project, so you probably already know what to expect if you've seen my other project, my Virtuous Contract project. These swords are very similar in design, but you know, obviously this sword has a really weird gap where only 2 little pegs connect it. And that was challenging. It was challenging to workshop that. I didn't know if it was going to work, and it does work. And I think the only reason that it does work is because of how lightweight the sword is. If the blade was any heavier and the connection points were any smaller, I have a feeling that this project would just break. Alright, bam. Look at that. It's black now. So, I'm going to clean... Actually, wait. I'm not going to clean this brush. So, I'm going to set the blade to the side for now. He'll come back later. And now we're getting into the more complex area. So this is going to be interesting. Okay, there are so many details on this project. You have no idea. Okay, first things first. I think I'm going to get this little area here. This area is black. And I should be able to actually get this area all the way around because it's not touching the table at all. It's fully elevated off the table no matter what orientation I lay the project. So I think I'm going to go all the way around with this. It'll be repetitive for you guys, but it'll be a time saver for me. Nothing too crazy. Like, there's nothing too crazy with the paint job of this project, but because there are so many small details that I have to work around, it kind of extends the time. Extends the time that this thing takes. Rotate this so I can see what I'm doing. Just get this little detail here. Okay. I'm not too worried about getting the edges of this upper part accidentally painted black, but I am worried about the fabric texture here. I don't want to get any black on that because that will, it's going to be white, so I kind of just want to leave it like that. I don't want to add unnecessary work by having to cover up any black, so I'm going to be very careful around that. Okay, I'm going to flip this over, get the other side. Efficiency. Efficiency is key when working on swords. I have so many projects. Oh, you know, I suppose I forgot to talk about the good things. I only talked about the bad things. So good things. I've been getting a lot of orders, and that's great because it it gives me more reason to make more projects. Got a tiny little spot on the handle, but that's fine. I'll cover it up later. But yeah, like I've been getting a lot of orders, and I'm really happy about that. And like I'm happy that, like, judging based off of the Etsy reviews, I've only received 5-star reviews, and that's awesome. I'm glad that people are enjoying my projects. I think it's fantastic. It's the dream. So I think, yep. All right, that's that little part all done. What else is black? This part, right above this. There's so many things in this project that I don't really know how to like name them. I don't know what to call them. That's okay. You guys can see what I'm doing. And that's all that really matters. Oh, speaking of naming things, I have officially named my printers. So I have two 3D printers, and I have one 2D printer. I named my 3D printers Melinda and Kaida. Melinda means big, wise, dark dragon, and Kaida means baby dragon. And the reason I named them like dragon names is because they're both enders, and the ender logo is a dragon. And also, it just reminds me of Ender Dragon from Minecraft, obviously. And I named my 2D printer Apalala, which means water dragon. So yeah, now I can like call them by their name. I think I'm going to be able to do this section all the way around as well. Oh. This is some real detail work already here. On the first coat, that's rare. It's rare to have to do detail work on the first coat. But that's fine. It just means that this is going to take a little bit longer. And by this, I mean this stream. I don't mean this project. This project will probably take just as long to paint as any other medium-sized sword project. Oh, wow. I'm getting a call. I wonder who it could be. Just Spam Risk USA. It's my favorite town. I've toured it a couple of times. Gotta say, if you haven't been there, you should take a road trip right now. Drop everything that you're doing. Okay, flipping it over. Gonna do the other side, exactly the same. So, I don't think I've actually encountered a asymmetrical sword. And when I say like asymmetrical, I mean like if you were to cut a sword like down the middle, that it would be different on the two sides. I don't think I've encountered a sword like that yet. Like I haven't had the idea to make any sword like that, and I haven't seen, like, no sword comes to mind when I think asymmetrical sword. And I think that would be really interesting. I mean, especially for the stream, because I'd effectively have to paint both sides just so that you could see every part of the process when I paint it. So when I come back around with the gunmetal gray, which is going to be this and this, I'm going to be a bit more delicate, and I'm going to use a finer brush. But right now, it's not necessary, because not only is it the first coat, it's the first coat with gunmetal gray. Gunmetal gray is just such a good paint at covering stuff up. I think I've almost got it here. Yep. That looks good. Not perfect, but it will be later. Okay, what else is black? Looking at my reference image. Oh! I forgot a piece on the blade. I am a dum-dum. So this whole end bit here is also black. Can't believe I didn't see that. But really easy. Just whoop doop doop. It's interesting not having the chat up. Like sometimes I have people that talk to me, but sometimes I don't. And like I'm used to talking to myself on stream and in real life. I just talk to myself anyway. But it's weird knowing that there could be people talking right now, and I'm not talking back to them. I'll look at the chat after stream. Gonna get this bottom piece here. Another just instance of I don't know how this sword works with regular sword anatomy. this whole blade is a separate piece. It's a separate piece from the handle, even when it's put together. It's like a whole separate entity. And that's weird. Okay, back to the handle. It looks like... Alright, so I know that like the entire back edge here is black, but I'm trying to work my way up. And I think I'm gonna have to get this part. Okay. There's so many little crevices in this project. It's so detailed. This might be my most detailed project. It'd probably look even better if it was at full scale. Yeah, look at that. Really gotta... Really, I have to try. I have to actively try to get within these crevices here. Usually I just like roll my brush over and it works. Not this time. No biggie though. I find when it comes to painting swords, I'm very patient. And in every other aspect of my life, I am absolutely not. This eye in the middle, this eye pattern, is going to be gunmetal gray. Or wait. Yeah, it is going to be gunmetal gray. So I'm just kind of going around it right now. And yeah, so this whole area with the eye included is black. Like, so one of these eyes is silver and another one of these eyes is black. It's really interesting. Like, if I didn't have the picture up, I would have made either both eyes black or both eyes silver. I never would have thought that one of them was black and one of them was silver. Oh, and I know last stream I talked about maybe trying to get music set up. I still don't know how to do that. So I haven't put a second of thought into it just because I've had so much going on. So perhaps in the future I'll figure that out. So many little crevices. Okay, gonna rotate this so I can see what I'm doing. I've barely used any black paint. Suppose I just haven't had that much surface area that's black. Even though the black is really noticeable in the project. I I had an art teacher who taught me in like middle school that black is the most eye-catching color. And if you have black in your color painting, it'll basically nullify any other color because everyone's eye will just go straight to the black. And so he told us, don't use black ever. At least not in the watercolor painting that we were doing. And like, I didn't really get it when he told me, but now I get it. And like, if you don't get it, like, think if you're ever buying a board game and you see the box for Cards Against Humanity, like, it's all black. It draws all of your attention. And that's kind of what made it click for me. Like, oh man, that's really clever. Having like the most black on your box makes it the most eye-catching on the shelf full of colorful boxes, you know? I think the same could be said for most like retail shelves. It's pretty interesting. My art teacher was a wise dude. Well, he still is. He's not dead. I really like how the black is looking. Black is one of those colors that it it conceals imperfections in the print really well. Like, it just makes layer lines less obvious and things like that. Like, just the little print errors that are unavoidable in any project. Black kind of just takes it away. Like, nope. You don't get to be an imperfection today. Okay, so there's just this little edge here. Oh, I suppose I have to flip this over and do the other side, because, yeah, I will. But I'm going to get this edge first here, so give me a second. Okay, now I'm flipping it over. Yep. Gonna do the same thing again. Honestly, it seems like my computer could have handled the Twitch chat being open right now. But I'm not going to turn it on just in case that messes with my active recording right now. But next time I'll turn it on. Maybe it is my internet, who knows? And I'm sure, like, I don't have Twitch open right now. Like, I guarantee that it says that I'm playing Terraria. Like, not a single doubt in my mind that it says that I'm playing Terraria. When will it learn? When will it learn that I only did one stream labeled as Terraria and that it's not my default? I honestly don't know what the deal is. I'm I'm gonna complain about it every stream until I figure it out, which I might never. So hopefully in the near future here, I'm going to be able to just like bam, 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 like get new projects out for you guys to see, both on Twitch and YouTube and Etsy and wherever else. Reddit. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a bunch of new projects out because I've caught up with my orders for the time being, except for this one. But this isn't an order, this is a commission. But yeah, like I've caught up with all my orders for the time being, which gives me time to work on new stuff. And I have a lot of new things that are planned. I have like 3 fully printed projects that are on my table, but I just haven't done any work on them. They're just off camera, like they're right over there. I just haven't been able to do work on them because I've either been having orders or I've just been busy with other stuff in life. I'm gonna lift this up for just a second so I can get this edge here. One second. It'll be but a moment. Okay. Yeah, 3 projects on my table, and 2 more that are printing as we speak. Out of the projects on my table, I got 1 small project, 1 medium project, and 1 large project. And I don't really know. Oh, and I don't really know how I categorize like sizes of projects, I guess. Like if it's small enough to be a knife, it's a small project. If it is like a short sword or within that range, it's a medium project. And if it's longer than 3 feet, it's a large project. I think that's pretty close to how I would classify it. But, every project is priced individually, so it's not like I'm using the small, medium, large philosophy on my Etsy. Trying to make the deals as fair as possible, while also, like, I still need to make some money off of it. Almost done with this part. I think that might be it. Oh, missed a little bit over there. Yeah. Okay. Now, the last part of the handle that needs to be black is the back border here. Interesting. Okay. Just looking at the reference image. It's very interesting. I'm still using this small brush even though it's inefficient because there's so many details. Just want to have this brush at the ready. So I'm just going to use it for the whole thing. Or all of the black anyway. It's strange how even the bolts that are clearly bolts and should probably be silver, they're black. My reference image says they're black, so therefore they're black. Therefore I paint them black. Trying to be as accurate as possible. Oh, trying to be accurate as possible, but this sword is made of plastic. Yeah, it is made of plastic. Sorry, I don't own a forge. I have used a forge, though. And then COVID happened, so I lost access to it. Whoops. It's so interesting how detailed this sword is. Like, it was really thought out. But it wasn't thought out structurally, that's for sure. You guys see what I'm doing here? Gotta get this edge. Have to concentrate a little bit. like I haven't been concentrating this whole time. I concentrate a lot. Real rough, just trying to not get a ton of black where the silver is going to be. The silver will cover it up, though, pretty nice, just because there's going to be 3 layers of silver. There's probably only going to be 2 layers of black. Don't worry, you'll only have to sit through 1. Almost done with this side. Okay. So yeah, pretty rough, but that's chill. I'm going to flip this over and do the other side because I can. How long have we been going? 40 minutes. Wow. We're only on the first color. That's shocking. I am shocked. I think the other colors are going to go by a lot faster. They're less detail-oriented. The silver, especially, is way less detail-oriented. And I am using a tiny brush. But for good reason. I might have to, like, close the lid on the black and shake it again. That's how much like little doses of black that I've used. Oh, hello. There was a chunk of dried paint in my paintbrush. Real fun. Dealt with it, no problem. Oh, yeah. If you're wondering, this is another piece of bad news. If you're wondering where Weapon Quest went, yeah, it also got lost when my recording software decided to freak out. And I think part of the reason my recording software freaked out is because I had so much footage stored in it. So for the time being, Weapon Quest is benched. I'm not going to do work on Weapon Quest right now because projects are more important. And if I get better computer, if I get better whatever, I'll be sure to return to it because I had a fun time doing that recording. And I had a fun time editing together the first few videos. But I did lose all that footage. Okay. Look at that. Okay. I think... Oh, that isn't the end of black. So there is actually some black on the pommel. Oh, weird. Weird to look at. It's just a... Oh, what? Okay, I get it. It's so weird. The patterns on this thing. They're so complex. Too complex for me. Can you see this? Not quite, but you will be able to. I'm asking Discord. Like, you're all a single entity to me. Do. It's so strange. Like, just the area on the outside of this pattern is black, but the rest of it is not. It's gunmetal gray. I think... No, I can't do both sides of this, unfortunately. That's fine, though. Because this is not that time consuming of a portion. Okay, look at that. Bam. Okay, so now I think that is the end of... No! It's not. It's not the end. Okay. I am going to put away this brush now, though, because I need an even more precise brush. You can leave. I need a more precise brush. I think you'll do fine. Hopefully. Inhales. We'll see. I'm actually going to shake the black again before I do this. One more thing that is black in this project. It's these. In between every lace of this handle. there is black. And that is crazy annoying. But Virtuous Contract had the same thing. And so would any other project that has a katana wrap. So you know what? Whatever. Cool. That's one. One out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I won't do both sides on stream to save you guys some sanity. Because I know that I will be all out of it by the time I'm done with this. Oh man. This is usually like a detail step that you guys would never see. But now you guys get to see it. Aren't you happy? You guys are stuck with me as I deal with this crazy intense detail. I'm using my left hand to paint, my non-dominant hand to paint, as I use my right hand to hold it down, at least for some of the portions of this. Phooey. I have to do this 4 times. I have to do all of these 4 times. Because it's 2 coats of black. And there's another side of the sword to do this on too. So yeah, that's 4 times. It's maddening. I tell you, it's maddening. It looks really satisfying in the time lapse though. So that's cool, I guess. On Virtuous Contract, these little pockets in between the wrap were a lot bigger. And it made things like both easier and harder in a way than this. Because one, like there was more surface area, so there was more to paint. But on the other hand, there was more room for the brush to move around. So really, there's pros and cons to both. This is like an exception to where I'm not patient when I'm painting. Oh, heck. Just moved the thing really quickly. That lack of patience will do me in if I'm not careful. Of course, I could always do like a layer of white over all of the handle just to make it uniform, which I might do in the end anyway. But I'm trying to avoid it. I don't think I'm going to be able to avoid it. That's fine. See, like, I'm patient with that. Like, I'm accepting of it, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to have to do this. We're past the halfway point, for those of you who are counting. This is going to be a long YouTube video when I post the stream. I kind of want this video, this YouTube video, to be longer than usual. Like the project video, not the stream. Just because I feel like I have a lot to explain with this project. Like making the project so that it was disassemblable for travel. And all of the intricacies I had to go through to make that work. Like, that's a solid 2 minutes of me talking. So the more footage I get of this project, the better. And hopefully I don't lose all the footage. If I do lose the footage for whatever reason, it's kind of okay. Because I'm going to have to make this project again for my Etsy store later. And I could easily just record it again if I lost it. But I don't want to record it again, because that's a lot of work. Last one. That kind of worked. All right. I'm not doing the other side. You can't make me. That's future me. That's their problem. Clean this brush. And let's do the gunmetal gray. What would be a good brush to use here? Man, I don't know. I think I'll choose this one, because I haven't used it yet. Gotta give it some love. Alright, gunmetal gray. I'm almost out of my original gunmetal gray paint that I bought. It'll be a sad day when this one runs out, but not as sad as the black, because I've had the black for years. Alright, got me some gunmetal gray. Probably too much. That's okay. So the first thing that's gunmetal gray is the pommel. So the rest of these details that I didn't get with the black are all gunmetal gray. So one thing I've noticed about gunmetal gray is that you can basically do like one coat on a gray primer and it'll look good. But on white primer, not as much. Like 2 or 3 coats. Either way, still one of my favorite paints. Getting in all of the crevices here. Just tilting this whole project so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Man, really have to concentrate. I'm not used to having to concentrate so much. Project just full of details. And I definitely poured way too much gunmetal gray. Da 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 da. One thing I've noticed is that painting on camera and painting without the camera are very different. When I paint off camera, it usually goes by a bit faster because I don't have to worry about camera angles or anything like that. But at the same time, I feel like I get my best work done when the camera's rolling. Okay, that's good. Yep. So there's that. Next is this middle piece. Don't know what to call it because it does not have any anatomy that I know. I still think that my original Virtuous contract is one of the best projects I've ever made. Just because it's so big, it turned out so well. I thought it was going to be a disaster. Turns out, it wasn't. Okay, look at that. Yeah. Okay. And last, but certainly not least, for the gunmetal gray, is the crossguard. Haha! Real sword anatomy. I knew that one. Do 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 do. Isn't this peaceful? I'm just painting a sword, yo. All of the details really absorb a lot of paint. Like I'm using a lot of paint to get in all of these crevices. So maybe I didn't pour out too much gunmetal gray. We'll see. Details. Oh, oh, oh. Uh-oh. I I can hear everything that I say. So I can hear when audio glitches happen. Real fun. Don't know when your thing is gonna crash. Do do do. So I'm actually gonna pick this thing up and hold it just so I can see. Yeah. So like this. Already, gunmetal gray is looking good, especially on camera. Looks slightly worse in real life, but still looks good. And after a second coat, it'll be good. It'll be at its best. Might even do a third coat just to get more smoothness. Some paints are just better than others. Wow. So many details. So many. Gotta get some areas that you can't really see, so sorry about that. Flip it around. I'm just gonna take this off camera for a second so I can see it in the light. 1 second, don't worry, I'll be right back. And by right back, I'm still here, but the project isn't. Almost there. Just a few more miscellaneous detail crevices to get. Okay. And that is the last. Oh, wait, not quite. Not quite. So I need to get the eye, remember? The eye is gunmetal gray. I don't have to be perfect with it on this coat, but I'll try to be decent. I'll try to be decent. What a phrase. And bam. Now the eye is gunmetal gray too. So that is the end of gunmetal gray. I did pour a little bit too much. Now it's time for the final color. And I bet you could guess what it is. Silver sterling. So, moving back to the blade. There's the blade. This whole thing is silver. The entire thing. Gonna grab this brush. Pour some of that in there. And I'm gonna go for it. Just heckin' go for it. Almost dipped my paintbrush in the gunmetal gray that's still there. That would have been funny. Did I just get an email? Wow. Oh, did you guys hear that? That's just Kaida. She's squeaking. She's squeaking at me. Those of you, if any of you are watching and you own a 3D printer and you're like, 3D printers aren't supposed to squeak. Kaida squeaks, and I love her anyway. Just a couple of details to get around as I get around this black centerpiece area here. I guess this is kind of a centerpiece. Pretty small for a centerpiece, but a centerpiece nonetheless. We're just kind of gonna get this whole area here while I'm over here. And I'm only going to do one side of this on camera for you guys. The other side I will have to wait until the silver dries in order to do the rest of it. I'm going to flip this blade around so I can get the other side of this detail. Da, 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 da. Carefully, carefully, carefully. You guys ever see The Electric Company? Because that's what that's from. Okay, now I'm gonna get the rest of the blade edge. Super easy. Wow, we've been going for an hour and 13 minutes. And honestly, I was expecting not that much. I thought this stream would be a lot shorter, but turns out the details really turned this into a longer stream. Silver. I think the silver sterling is better for. I mean, it's better with a gray primer as well. Just like the gunmetal gray is. Okay. Now I need to get the cutting edge, which I have purposely dulled a little bit. And the reason that I purposely dulled the edge just a tiny bit is so that it couldn't be mistaken for something that's actually sharp. My client, Stacy, mentioned that she would be going to a few cons where she would be carrying this thing around. And just to cover all the bases, I decided to make it not come to a sharp edge. Not that like any of my projects are really sharp, like compared to anything that's metal, but it could be mistaken as something that's sharp, and it could hurt someone if you hit someone with it. But just don't hit people with it. It'll do a lot of damage to the sword and possibly injure the person you're hitting. I know my bigger projects would definitely hurt someone if they were to get hit by it. Like if someone hit you over the head with my Minecraft sword, it would hurt. It would really hurt. Okay. And 1 second. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the opposite edge, the blunt edge. It's blunt either way, but I don't know what this edge is called. I feel like I know, but I just can't remember right now. I'll remember it later, for sure. Almost done. And after this, I'm probably not going to work on this anymore tonight. Just because this is a lot of painting to do in one sitting. Usually I break it up throughout the day. But when you have multiple projects going, it feels like you're painting like non-stop all the time. So I think I deserve a break after this. Maybe have a sandwich. Kind of hungry. And just like that, boom, done. Alrighty. Well, this has been a fun stream. Hopefully everything works out technologically. And look forward to seeing the full project video on this one, because this one was complex. And look forward to more stuff in the future. Like I said, got 3 projects on the table, 2 more printing. So